Hello. Hey there. Welcome into another edition of Between the Lines, where we take you inside the pages of success. I'm Josh Ellis, editor-in-chief of Success Magazine, and I'm joined today by our returning champion, Cecilia Meis. Cece, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Josh. Thanks for having me.
Cece writes the how-to article in each issue of Success, and the latest, or the July-August issue, is how to give purposefully. It fits perfect in our lifestyle section of the issue. And it's about finding a cause that fits for you, which is more complicated potentially than one might think, right, Cece?
Yeah, I think a lot goes into our mindset about it, of if we think that we're not going to be able to move the needle if we're not writing large checks to big charity organizations or large national nonprofits. And that's just not necessarily true. A lot of what goes on in our local communities can really have great impacts.
One thing we know about our readers is that they are purpose driven, right? So they want to be able to positively affect their communities or the world through the businesses that they operate or the work that they do. And if they're not able to do that through their work, then they especially want to, we hear this over and over, give back in some way or another, whether it's helping younger people or donating their time or some money or energy. But there are, as we all know, a lot of charitable organizations that don't maximize every dollar that they receive, or that maybe aren't doing the greatest possible good for their cause. And so finding something that you identify with can be a challenge for some people.
Yeah, I think the thing that goes along with that too is that we're just looking at dollar signs of checks that we're writing every month to these nonprofits, and we're not thinking about how it aligns with our business values and our personal values. And I think that can have such a more meaningful impact of who we are and who we represent as entrepreneurs and business owners. And to be kind of thinking on a smaller scale of what kinds of people do we want to help lift up with our time, our dollars, our expertise.
Tell me about some of the case studies that you spoke to for this story, and the ways that these are business owners themselves, but the ways that they are aligning purpose with what they're contributing.
Yeah, so I spoke with a couple based in Carlsbad, California, and they own a sustainable company they're on a mission to eliminate plastic from shopping. That's already something that is a big deal in California and has already been eliminated on a lot of the big cities over there. And I think what struck me most about them is everything that they do about their business is in the form of giving back. They've created a business on the platform of what's important to them. And so it's not to them just an element of their business, but actually what they built their business on. They constructed it on what's valuable to them and what will help make the world a better place after they're gone. So that was really cool. The other guy I talked to.
Let me jump in. Yeah. You're speaking there of Jennifer and Farzen Dumabed. They're the co-founders of Lotus Sustainables in Carlsbad, California. And you also spoke to John Mannison. He's the CEO of Apex Tutors and president of Sailfish Swim Club based in LA.
Yeah, I loved what John was saying about what it takes to move the needle, and to kind of expand our mindset about that. Anyone can be philanthropic. You could buy lunch for a homeless person who's living in your community, or you could donate $1 million to a notable cause. Both of those things have the power to impact. And so as your business grows and as an entrepreneur, he believes we have a responsibility to give back. It's not just something that we should be doing or makes us feel better, but with the wealth that we're building comes a responsibility to create a society that all of us, our grandchildren, want to be a part of in the future.
I want to make one last point about the point of all this, and because there may be some people who read it or hear us talking right now who are like, I can do this easily, and it's not hard to find worthy causes out there. No, of course it's not. But the point is to really align yourself, your vision, what you believe in, and what your values are with the areas that need you and need your contributions. Because to go back to the law of attraction, which is nothing new in personal development, it's essentially the idea that If you give of yourself to something that you really believe in, you will attract people who will help you. And so these entrepreneurs that we've been talking about, John Manison, Jennifer and Farzin Dumabed, the work that they do is for a greater good, and it brings in people to work with them, customers who perhaps want to buy from them because they see such value in these people as individuals, but what they're doing for the world. And so, when we talk about giving purposefully, running purpose-driven businesses, that's what it's all about, because there's greater room for success when you do just that. And I know that that's been, you've been writing for success and editing for success a long time, and that's probably a pretty common theme that you've seen in a lot of the sources that you've talked to.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of studies done on this, but people don't follow a leader who has a great business idea or a great product or a great business model. Even they follow the person, they follow the vision that that person represents and that they live out every day. And so when you present yourself and say, these are the things I believe in, these are the values that I live by, your business better reflect that, because the people that are going to follow you are following you for that reason. And so just from a perspective of a business owner, I mean, it's a smart business move. And also it's something at the end of the day that you're going to create a better environment for everyone around you.
And you can definitely be proud of your work. Cece, thanks for the time. Thanks for all that you do for success. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Josh.
We'll see all of you next week with another edition of Between the Lines. So long, everybody.